Campbell's comments. Tonight, doing something different. I love doing different, but I've done a few things with these guys. EB research is what today's about, and it's raising awareness for an insidious disease. But I'm catching up with Corey, Craig, and the star of the show, Tilly, sitting up there in prime position. Gentlemen, firstly, welcome to Campbell's comments for about the third time, I think, for both of yous. And well done for getting tough Tilly into this race at Melton on Saturday night.
Thanks for having us, Paul.
Craig's pulling.
Good on you, mate. Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Tough Tilly's race name. It nearly typifies the horse. I think she's a ripping little horse, and she's as tough as boots. But she's actually named after your daughter, Corey. That's sitting there on your lap, and it's a very fitting name. I think you must be very proud of the horse. When you name a horse after someone, sometimes it can be a bit nerve-wracking if the horse isn't good enough. But you must be absolutely stoked in how the horse has performed, especially when it's named after your daughter, mate.
Oh yeah, we are. Look, I mean, it's fantastic. It's quite surreal, to be honest with you. We're just all that excited. Can't believe we're in a Group 1 on Saturday night, and as we've said before, it's just a lot of us are all first-time harness people, and we're super excited, mate. But yeah, tough Tilly, and the horse has lived up to the name. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely. I was going to go one way with this conversation, but I think we'll stick with Tills for the minute because she's sitting there and she's like, they're talking about me, but not to me, and it's not really fair. Firstly, Tills, do you love watching the little filly race?
Yes.
Did you? Who were you with the other night? Were you on the Zoom meeting, or were you just sitting at home with Mum and Dad?
We were up the house, up the river.
Oh yeah, we're up at the river.
We all watched it. Yeah, we all got excited.
How'd it make you feel, Dale? Were you jumping and carrying on?
Yes.
Is it a little bit surreal having a horse named after you and having people associating it with you? Surreal's probably a bad word. Can you believe it's actually happening?
No.
You probably get a little bit embarrassed, don't you?
No,
she's not one to actually. She's not one to like the spotlight a lot, even though it has been a lot. But yeah, it's you can answer that. You get a bit embarrassed, don't you?
Yeah.
How old are you, Till?
9.
9 years old. So it probably is a lot for a young person to take on. Are you guys aware of that, Corey? Like it is a lot for her to be taking on?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, look, I mean, obviously when Tilly was born, we've put her out there and we've shared our journey and our story. And, it's still no problem. But I do know now that Tilly's obviously growing up and getting older, and she's aware of it a lot more, aren't you, Till? But I think she understands that we're all just there. It's not just about Tilly; it's about every EB sufferer throughout the world. That we just want to make a difference.
I'm a father of one. Juddy's a father of a couple of girls and all the rest, and we're incredibly proud of them, each and every one. There'll be people listening and watching this would be the same. But I imagine, Corey, you must be really, really proud, especially what's happened probably in just the last month as far as EB research. Everything has changed to exactly what happened today. And Eddie Vedder, I watched. I'm going to put it up in a sec, the footage. But you must be very proud of what the EB research and also Tough Tilly has been able to do to raise the profile of it.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly proud. I mean, always the whole journey from where it all began when Tilly was born to meeting the Judd family and Kendall and for their involvement, and to my sister-in-law Donna, who obviously runs the EB Research Partnership, and then it's been an amazing journey, and then to obviously partner up with EB Research Partnership America. They launched their Ventures into Cures today, which was just a huge hit, and to have Eddie Vedder and Jill Vedder, who are just so passionate and that are on board, and Jill's on the board of EB Research Partnership. It is. It's amazing. It really is.
I just put the slide up. If people are wondering what that slide was, I want you to go to YouTube. You can go back and have a look at it, but it's Ventures for Cures. It's on YouTube. Go to about an hour in. There's some music prior to that. If you're a dead set music nut, you'll love it. There's no worries there. But about an hour in, and Eddie Vedder starts opening the show and going from there. And I'll be honest, Till, I might have had a little tear in the eye when I was watching a bit of the slides and all the rest, all right? So I think it struck a big chord, and I'm sure it'll strike a chord with a lot of people. And, yeah, I think what you guys are doing, you should be very proud, because there was not a lot known about it. And in the small time that I've known, Juddy made me aware of it. I think you raised a lot of awareness for a lot of other people in harness racing, that's for sure. Juddy, one, it's been something that you guys have been associated with for a long time as well, and through your daughter. And a lot of people may not have understood the actual butterfly that you had on your shirt, on your colours. It's actually underneath you. It's on my hat. That's actually not in picture, but that's okay. I don't care. You guys are more front and centre than what I am. Getting this filly and getting to the racetrack, you must be incredibly proud of what she's been able to achieve, and then also just to be able to raise the awareness as well.
Yeah, look, it's been a hell of a journey, and with our girl Kendi, it was there was no EB Research Foundation back in those days, so we sort of found our own path and sort of worked our way through it. And then a few years ago, we were fortunate enough to meet Corey and Kelly and the gorgeous Till, and it's been incredibly encouraging for the direction of the EB for epidermolysis bullosa. These guys have given up their lives, and Tilly having to be put out there the way she has to raise awareness and raise money, and it's a selfless act by Corey and Kelly and the family, and what they've done. They dead set have put every ounce of themselves into trying to cure this, because Tilly and like my girl Kendall, it's probably not going to help them so much, but it's to help other people who get this insidious disease.
I would imagine.
Horse. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You go.
No, you go, mate.
No, I was just going to say that then we days of my entire life was meeting Corey and Kelly, and something I'll never ever forget. We went over and visited them over at their property at Chuka. They got a little house at Chuka, and we went over to visit them, and we were sitting there, and myself and Renee looking at Tilly and remembering sort of what Kendall's journey, and then looking over at those guys, looking at Kendall at that stage is probably 12 or 11 years of age, and she was starting to sort of live her life and play a little bit of sport and give those guys a bit of hope, and it was quite unbelievable. So yeah, we've been on the journey with these guys ever since, and we looked for an opportunity to try and raise a bit of awareness and some funds, and the horse come along, and it was just like, I don't know, it was destiny for me. I picked the filly out, I broke her, we, as in my family, gave up 25%. Broke her in, and she just gave me a good feel from day one. And then I rang Corey about the idea. We had Dan Malecki and Robbie Auber and those guys get behind it, do a phantom call, and it was we auctioned the horse at the Cotton Ball, and we had people, harness racing people like Tim Bunning and those guys all get behind it, and we're underbidders to Corey and his crew, and it's just, I don't know, it's something about this horse, the way she runs, how she.
You're just saying about
resonates to me.
You said about the call,
What's that, mate?
The night of the Cotton Ball, then you had it all set up, and Dan Malecki did the call. Well, one of those wins, I think it might have been her first win. It was ideal. It was actually identical to the call that was a mock-up to sell the horse on the night. We were actually talking about it today at work with Judd, and he sort of said, that call, it was actually identical, so it is. It's like it's destiny. It's just amazing how it's transformed, and here we are, in a Group 1.
I've actually got the video playing above. You guys can't see the videos actually playing above. It was interesting, Juddy, when you were talking then, and you were saying about you remember going there and meeting Corey. At the same time, Corey, I don't know if you're aware, but you were nodding, and I reckon I could be a bit cheeky. You might have been even welling up a little bit, like it was possibly one of those moments that Juddy's explaining it, and you're remembering every bit of it?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's what's important. I mean, obviously, Kenny's a lot older than Tilly was being able to share Craig and Renee's story to where, Kendi, when she was born and what they went through. They showed us photos. It was just unbelievable. Kendi actually, they looked so similar, as babies. And for Kelly and myself, it was really, it was a feeling of hope, because there's Kenny. She was at the time. I don't know how old Kenny would have been then. It was just, it gave us.
No, I'd be guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
11 or 12, I'd say.
Yeah, I was going to say it just gave us hope, because obviously, there's different types of EB. We have obviously Tilly and Kendi suffer from simplex, which affects predominantly hands and feet and face at times, and other parts of the body as well. But obviously, recessive dystrophic, it's the worst kind, and it's you wouldn't wish it on anyone. It attacks the insides of a sufferer. So so getting back to that moment when we were in Echuca was fantastic, and it's I'll never forget it.
I know harness racing does a huge job. Juddy does as well. What Duncan McPherson's been able to do with the Team Teal, and it's gone worldwide. Pink Pants with Donna Gaskin and the likes. Raising awareness is only the start, and harness racing people will get right behind this, won't they, Juddy? There's not a worry in the world that people will get behind it. Unfortunately, with COVID-19, you haven't even been able to have the colours, but this weekend, I would imagine you guys are pretty excited. I'm superstitious. I wouldn't change the colours. I'd be saying to Kate, you drive in those colours, but having the colours on show this weekend is going to be pretty important for you both.
Yeah, it is. It's what you say about harness racing people, they're just salt of the earth people. They're fantastic people. They do get behind any cause, and I'm a tad superstitious myself, but we just got to wear those colours.
I spoke to Kate. It was one night at Ballarat anyway, and we were talking about the colours, and she said, "I've just got to be able to get back into those colours." It'll be interesting because I know Katie is possibly a little bit more superstitious than you and me, Juddy. So it'd be interesting her thoughts on doing it. But I know she'll do the colours proud. That's one thing about it. Do you have superstitions, Corey?
No, not at all. Honestly, I don't think it'll make any difference.
Well, we're all going to
what Kate wears on the night. I just think that both Kate and the horse will just be in the zone, and just it won't make any difference.
Mate, we're going to ride on your coattails then, because if you have superstitions like me and Juddy, it'll be no good. But it actually doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, win, lose or draw with the horse, she's raised the awareness. You guys have been on Media Street all week. I think you've been on SEN, RSN. You've probably been everywhere. I asked Tilly if I was the most famous person that she's had interview, and I didn't even get a look in, but that might not have been this week. But Jonathan Browns and Hamish McLaughlin and those guys, I mean, I've got no chance, have I, Till? I can handle it. But that's what it's about. So if a horse in harness racing can raise the awareness and get more people to go to EB Research, I think it's .org on the website, visit it, go to the Facebook page, which is EB Research Partners or Partnership, but you'll find it. Just type in EB Research. It comes straight up. You don't have to go looking for it at all. And get on there and have a look. And go to the YouTube page as well. And if you like your music, switch off to us. Flick on the YouTube page in a minute and just let Eddie Vedder and the guys play their music. But be aware that it's for a real good cause too, and it's to raise awareness. That's the whole idea of this week, isn't it?
100%. That's out of all of this, it's the awareness, because there'd be a lot of people that would never have heard of EB. That's where it comes back to, win, lose or draw Saturday night. It's the awareness that comes out of it, the story that goes with it. Obviously Paul having us on here with you, and we've had phone calls, as you said, SEN this week, and Adam Hamilton today. So it's a great thing. It's all about the awareness, and we are a small charity. we rely on, as you said before, we have copped it this year. We haven't had our ladies' lunch. Starball, we're a recipient of the Starball, 50% of that. We have Tuck Dilly Day in January, which it's all up in the air at the moment. So it's with COVID, it's knocked a lot of charities around, but in particular, obviously us. But we will bounce back, and this is just another part of the journey with the horse, and the awareness that's going to come with it will be huge. So we're very grateful.
Is the Tough Tilly Day still on?
Look, we're not 100%, obviously, with what's happening with COVID, and we've had obviously issues now in South Australia. So we're not sure. It will happen, and we will postpone it, but it will. I
better start getting in shape because I'm going to do it. And I don't care who's there with a camera if I pass out or whatever. Tilly, you're not allowed to have a camera, but if anyone else is there with a camera and sees me pass out at the end of it, but I think I'll make the effort to have a crack at it. It's a big week in harness racing. Juddy, quickly on Ben Stud, Nutrien are doing a great job. They're promoting. They've got their online sale that starts on tomorrow as well, so it's a pretty busy time. It's a good time to be in harness, and when you get these sort of days, these nights, Breeders' Crown nights, it's when you want to be a part of it. And then to have a filly like this that's made that night, you must be pretty proud not only of what Ben Stud's been able to achieve, but harness racing in general.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just taking their marketing and their approach to involving people into the industry to a whole new level. I think in Victoria it's been absolutely amazing. And you touched on the Nutrien sale. They're doing a great job, and I think the timing of it around the Breeders' Crown's fantastic. We've been trying to get the message out there in terms of how to enroll. Enroll's not the right word.
That's a word I keep using.
And
you just broke up a bit,
and I think it'll be really successful.
You just broke up a bit, but I think what you were trying to say was get people to register, make sure they get onto the Nutrien website and register before close of business tomorrow. The sale starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow, but before close of business tomorrow, it's a lot easier to do than it is over the weekend. You can still register over the weekend, but don't leave it to the last minute. Get yourself registered and go from there. That's what you're trying to get out. And that's to go to nutrienequine.com.au. I forgot the website. How bad am I going? I've said it all week, and now it's just left me, Juddy. Help me. Just type in Nutrien Equine. The rest will come up. I'm sure of it.
Just type in Nutrien Equine and then you're ready to run. Link.
Absolutely. Hey, I'll tell. I might not be the most famous person, but I want to know one thing. If this horse happens to win on Saturday night, am I able to ring you up and get a live interview with you? Because you're not going to be there. I believe you might be escaping to the other side of the river. You reckon I might be able to get a FaceTime interview with you if she happens to win? So I beat Hamish and all them? Is that what you're saying? Good luck, guys. I think it's an enormous thing that you're doing. It's great. I mean, COVID's thrown a big curveball. You haven't been able to get out to the races and showcase it, but this week is really, I think something's looking down on you in the right way because restrictions are eased. People are able to get there. Colours can be worn. Things are going the right way. So I think good luck to you guys, and you're going to be together on the other side of the border enjoying the night, which is even better for you all, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it, mate. Super excited. The whole 28 of us that will be all, it's in one night, fourth. So, we have the harness racing bug, I think, Paul.
Absolutely. I hate Zoom meetings, Corey. You'll understand when you come back and watch that. But now it's telling me mine's unstable. But it just keeps breaking up at the wrong times. We get out of this COVID and we can go face to face. It'll be so much more fun, I tell you. It'll be a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Well, we get our crew together at a Breeders' Crown. There'd be 100 plus people there, all in it for the right reasons, and just enjoying being around each other would be great fun.
No worries, guys. 100%. Thank you very much for giving me a bit of time, guys. And Till, I look forward to talking to you Saturday night, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks very much,
Don't
Paul.
forget EB Research
No.
Foundation on Facebook, ebresearch.org on the website. And I'll actually throw this slide back up here. Go to Venture into Cures on YouTube. Listen to some great music, but also listen to the messaging that they've been getting out there. It's pretty powerful stuff. If you don't get a tear in your eye, I'll go he. Very, very powerful thing to watch. So thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Paul.